Welcome to episode number 9, Triple Crown Conversations podcast. My name's Tyler Pumphrey. I'm here with Hayden Hall and Austin Cardish. Guys, we're on a baseball field today. Opening
nice
day.
Nice day out, boy.
Yeah?
Nice day out.
Opening day of the MLB season today. Austin, I know me and you are ready to watch the Reds.
Oh, yeah.
Muffin, unfortunately, is a Guardians fan. So.
Indians.
Yeah, Indians.
They're going by it.
They play the A's tonight. The Reds start off the season with the Nationals.
So, honestly, both teams should just start out with wins. Like,
You should.
series wins.
You would
they
think.
should.
But the Guardians are kind of weird.
Yeah. But we'll talk more about that. We're on a baseball field. We thought it'd be fitting to be on a baseball field for opening day today. Looking forward to watching the Reds. And, we just thought we'd come on the turf here at Cal Ripken and do it on the baseball field today. So any of you all, Muffin, Austin, you got any interesting stories for over the weekend or anything since last time?
No, not really.
I can't think of too many. Me and Jaylee actually went to some wrestling event the other day in town.
Did you?
You went to that?
Some kind of, I don't know, it's like some kind of redneck wrestling thing. I don't know.
That's what I like to do, watch some redneck wrestling. they always had some in Shopful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that one, but this one was in Ferguson.
So you all just went on Saturday night, went to
Yeah.
went to some
Talk about a
redneck
date
wrestling.
night.
Yeah, that's a date night right there. That's the ideal date
That's how you
night.
do it, boys.
If you ever need some advice, just hit up Muffin. Take us into some redneck wrestling.
Tyler, how many home runs did you hit on this field?
0. I've only hit one home run in my entire life in a game.
Contact
so.
hitter?
Yeah, I was more a line drive kind of guy, you know.
Line drive and strikeouts?
Yeah.
I've hit some on the T-ball field.
Wow.
Hey, we can move that fence in. They got a temporary fence that we can put
I
up.
remember that.
Might have to have a home run derby while we're out here today. But all right, so if nothing else other than Muffin's Redneck Wrestling, we'll get into the to the show here. So we're gonna start off with the NCAA tournament. We left off last week. Kentucky loses to Oakland. I was down in the dumps last Thursday night. I was not feeling too good last Thursday night. I thought, Kentucky lost to Oakland, and I sat in my basement, and I about cried. I'm not going to lie to you. I sat there and then just sat in silence for like 45 minutes after the game was over.
Let's just say Jack Golke owns Kentucky.
Yeah. And I called it last show. I was like, this dude is going to absolutely go
Yeah,
off.
we said he could go for 30 points.
Yeah, and guess what? He hits 10 threes.
Because it was on the same day Curry went off for 40 against
10
somebody?
threes and 4 dribbles. He only
Yeah.
dribbled 4 times.
Didn't take a single two.
Yeah.
That's what I came on last week and said he's only taken 8 twos all year long. He doesn't take a single two that game.
But didn't
He has
shoot,
nothing to lose.
He
Yeah.
shot 40%, right?
Yeah, he was like 10 for 18 on threes against Kentucky. He shot 18 threes by himself.
Even on the good defense they had on it, he still was swishing them.
So that was just a very disappointing game, which brings me to my next topic here. Over the weekend, Kentucky considered firing John Calipari, the highest paid coach in college basketball. Was very close to getting fired. The AD came out and said, that's not acceptable the past few years of Kentucky basketball. Losing to St. Peter's 2 years ago, making it to only the second round last year and then losing to Oakland this year. They said that something's going to have to change, but they decided to keep Cal. They did announce that on Monday. Or actually Tuesday is when they announced that. But I know there's rumors going around that he was strongly considered firing Calipari over the weekend. So that brings me to my question is, Austin, we'll start with you. Would you have kept or fired John Calipari?
I mean, I think the smartest thing with the $33 million salary is you just got to keep him for another year or two. But what you all don't want to happen is you all want him gone and then say, all right, we're going to give him 2 years. That's what he gets, and then he's done. And in that last year, he wins a natty, and then he's like, all right, we're going to keep him. And then it's just the same thing. So you don't want that to happen. But I think to be smart, you'd have to keep him, let that cap go down a little more, and then you let him go or he retires, whichever one. Because you don't really want to be paying 2 coaches at the same time.
Yeah, the thing is, for people that don't know, his buyout was $33 million. So basically, they'd have to, if they fired him, they would have to pay him $33 million just to go away, just to not coach anymore.
Yeah, and that goes down each year.
Yeah.
I thought the question on the radio we heard a second ago was pretty interesting. If he didn't have that cap, would you keep him or let him go?
You'd have to let him go. You can't just keep going being mediocre.
Thing is,
like, he's
who's
a great
be
recruiter. Like, maybe you could, instead of just like outright firing him, like be like, hey, you want to move like the recruiting office or something like that in that capacity. But you just, I don't know, man. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over. And we touched on it a couple episodes ago, and we were like, this team could go either out in round one or they can win the Natty. So it's hit or miss.
So, thing is about Kentucky, I think that they need to. I thought they should have reevaluated. I thought that maybe they go out and at least look for other coaches. Obviously, it's going to be hard replacing Calipari, but I think they at least should have talked to somebody else, maybe just to see what everyone else is looking like. But paying him the $33 million doesn't make sense right now, and it's just going to keep on going down. Why not wait at least a year or so, see what else he does? And
yeah, that's the thing. So you would have had, if you would have fired him and brought in a new coach, you would have had to pay Calipari $33 million. Then you would have had to pay the buyout of another coach because he would already be at another school, and then you'd have to pay his buyout. So you'd have to pay his salary to coach at Kentucky, which would obviously be a top end salary. Then you'd have to pay all of his assistants too. So by the time you're looking at it, it may be a $50-60 million investment by the time you get done with everything. And
it's probably going to be a big name coach that replaces him too.
It would be, yeah.
With this kind of program, so.
Well, there's another question: is who would you have replace him if you had the choice? I mean, who could replace him?
There's not there. I read a bunch of things about Scott Drew, which is Baylor's coach. Which if they would have fired Cal and hired him, I don't know really how I'd feel about that, because he's a good coach. Don't get me wrong, but he's been at Baylor forever, and he's won one national championship in 2020, and he hasn't made. But since that championship in 2020, he hasn't made it past the first weekend of the tournament. So it's not like you're really getting that much better if you hire him. There are rumors of them asking Jay Wright, who is Villanova's old coach, won a national championship with them. Hey, that would have been a great hire, but I don't think they would have been able to get him because he's in TV now for CBS. So
I heard some speculation about Auburn's coach as well.
Bruce Pearl,
But
yeah.
There's the same things about Calipari that's been said about him with getting out of the tournament so early. So it's like you got a handful of guys.
They lost to Yale in the first round.
Yeah,
Auburn did.
I had them winning the whole natty. I just took it just thinking, oh, nobody's gonna pick Auburn. It's like, I see why.
So speaking of that, what's the brackets looking like?
So we did so me, Muffin, and Austin did a bracket challenge, and I have to pull up the results here on my phone. But
mine didn't even get entered.
But I guess Muffin didn't save his bracket.
Didn't submit.
So basically it's just me and Austin.
Yeah, my bracket is garbage.
Cooked.
All my brackets are garbage.
Who'd you pick to win it all? Auburn.
Auburn, both of them. That's what I'm saying. It's like if I would have picked them and they go, I look like a genius, and I know I get a good payout because nobody's gonna pick them.
There's one perfect bracket now?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't even know how that's.
I just don't get into it, so I just do it for fun. But I'm sure you're beating me. I'm sure, but
I think when I looked at
he picked Kentucky to win it all at one point.
Yeah.
But in ours, I think he picked like UConn or Houston. Who's still in it?
Let's see. I picked UConn.
I'm rooting on Marquette.
My Final Four, I did have Arizona, Kansas, Auburn, and Florida, which Florida's out, aren't they?
Yeah, they got beat.
So they're out.
I think there's
Auburn's
only
out.
one SEC team left.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's not. It's loading here still, but yeah, in the bracket that I had in our group, I had UConn winning. I also made another bracket with Kentucky winning. That's not doing very well, but if it'll load here, I can see.
picked Houston
Did you say
to win
you
it
had
all.
Kentucky and who? Who went in your other one?
I had UConn.
UConn.
I had Houston in mine.
Yeah.
Which, it's weird because my bracket with Kentucky is actually doing better than my bracket with UConn. My bracket with UConn, I've got 74% right. And my bracket with Kentucky, I've got 82.9. So,
Mine would have
So does
submitted.
it save mine?
it would, but it's not loading. We get awful service. Look, we're in the middle of the
We're in the
boonies or
boonies,
something.
yeah. They decided let's just put a water park
Oh, here we
and
go.
a baseball field right in the center of nowhere.
Yours, Austin, is 36.8%.
Hey,
I wish
listen.
it showed mine.
I'm not joking here.
Yeah, I believe you, man. I didn't want to see that. That's traumatizing. But if it was football, I would be
Does
on
it have mine on there?
It just don't show anything because yours is.
Mine's probably the one left, and I probably wouldn't even know it.
So yeah, we did a bracket challenge. We were gonna announce that, but that's the update
Yeah.
on it so far,
Just a lot of upsets early on.
which there always is in the
Yeah.
NCAA.
Yeah, that's March for you.
Yeah. So let's move on from sports. A little announcement, a little breaking news. We won't be on the. We won't be doing a podcast next week because
We'll be taking a little break.
yeah, we'll be taking a week break because Muffin here is going to the beach. So
Going to
he's
the beach,
leaving
well-
us, going to the beach.
I'm going with my girlfriend's family to the beach. This is the first vacation I went with them, so.
Yeah, so pray for him. But yeah, he'll be going. Tell him where you're going, Dustin.
We'll
Right?
be going to Destin, yeah. I'd known about it for a while now, and I'm kind of glad to get a little break away from college and school and work and everything, so happy it's coming. Ready to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, so we're gonna skip the podcast next week since Muffin won't be on, but we'll pick up the next week, and Muffin will have to recap his trip to the beach.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, let's move on.
Keenies and beers, boys. Keenies and beers.
So like I said, we were at a baseball field. Reds opening day today, like I mentioned earlier. They play the Nationals here in just an hour and a half or so. They start at 4:10. What's your predictions for the game today? Game 1 of 162. Muffin? Score prediction, too. You got to give the score.
I'm going to take Nationals.
Oh,
Okay. I see how it is.
4-2. I'm taking the Nationals. Reds haven't had a promising opening day. I mean, they didn't win last year, and even before.
It's a whole different team, man.
it does seem like they always lose.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm gonna call Nationals. Y'all can hate, but
the hate
Tyler,
is
what's
real
yours?
right now.
I'm going to go Reds. I think they'll win today because the Nationals aren't very good. I'll go Reds win 5-3.
I was thinking 4-1, and yeah, this is one of those days that like us Cincinnatians, we just want or treat it as like a Christmas. Like you wake up in the morning, you have your day planned out. You go down to the Reds or downtown Cincinnati. You get ready for the parade. They usually have like a grand marshal and a couple Reds players in it, and it's just all decked out. People have a lot of fun. Then you go home, or you go out to eat. Then you go home and watch the game, or you go to the game. And if you go to the game, you're down by the banks, by the river, and you're just having a good time until the game starts. And it's fun. And like I said, we treat it like a holiday. A lot of people skip school. Yes, they do. But it's understandable.
Well,
Hey, stop. Okay. We're good. But no, like I was saying, it's like it's an every year tradition for everybody who's a Reds fan. And honestly, I'm wanting to go next year because I haven't been in a couple years. But growing up, that's what we did, and it was real fun. So
it's about the only parade the Reds will get because they never win the championship, so they don't get that parade at the end of the year. So they got to treat this one like it's the championship.
I wish I could say you're wrong, but no, this
maybe next week we will be here with someone else. Maybe next week.
I just kick him out. But yeah, the Reds. This is the only game of the year they sell out of their stadium. Like
Wait a minute. You're coming at
I
it
know,
now.
but like
I believe in this team. Okay.
yeah, they sell out on opening day. Then the next game, not as much people. But opening day is a huge, big deal for Cincinnati. They have, like I said, parade and everything. And they always start out at home because the Reds were the first MLB franchise. So they played the first game, so they always play the first home game of the year. So it's a big day for the Reds. Hopefully they can win today and the series against the Nationals this weekend.
Which we should. We got to watch that man, Jesse Winker, because he's been on a revenge tour against us. But I'm honestly excited to see what Candelario does against his former squad and the first game for the Reds in home. So it should be interesting. But have you ever been to the parade?
No.
Oh, we got to get there. It's actually,
we went to a game.
It's actually pretty fun. Like, you go down there and you're having a good time. They got, like, down on the square, they got music set up. They got food, everything. They'll come around and they'll shoot out, like, this thing of geta, which is sausage, breakfast sausage. And they'll be like, this side of the road, let's hear it. And this side, and whoever's loudest, they'll just randomly toss. And you got to basically go up and posterize somebody to get it. But it's real fun. We got to go.
Yeah, I know tickets for this game are really expensive too, rather than normal. But yeah, hopefully the Reds can pull it out today.
I think me and Tyler went last year to Washington, wasn't it?
We played. Yeah, they played
Nationals.
the Nationals. Yeah.
Did they lose?
Juan Soto was playing, wasn't he?
No.
That was
Soto
we
was
went. Well, we
Padres
went
last year, right?
not last year,
We
but the year
went 2
before.
years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, when he was playing.
Yeah. But yeah, so Reds play today. MLB opening day today. Should be a good day of baseball. But we'll move on to football now. NFL. So my Cowboys, I don't know what they're doing, but they ain't doing much. Apparently Jerry's asleep, I guess.
Jerry Jones smoking that Jerry Jones pack over there.
So so they announced this week that Dak Prescott, who's on his last year of his contract, is not going to be getting an extension. So he'll be playing this year on his last year of his contract, and then he'll hit free agency next year. So
Which might be a good thing, honestly, for you.
maybe, because he's asking for a lot of money. He's been asking for like $60 million a year, and he's not even the best quarterback in the NFL, so I don't know really why they'd pay him $60 million a year. So what are your all's thoughts about that?
I think it's smart because they haven't got over that hump yet. And you can't necessarily just blame one player, but he hasn't been all that great in the postseason. And $60 million's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. So, like, when you compare $60 million, it's like Mahomes, Burrow. I think Dak's a tier below them, with like Josh Allen and them. So, I don't know. I see him just signing some crazy deal with them, but honestly, there's rumors out there that Dion doesn't want his sons playing anywhere that's cold. In Texas being warm, plus in a dome, I could see Jerry Jones trying to pull something off to get Shedeur Sanders there.
I could see him doing that, but I don't know.
Let Dak go somewhere else. But yeah, I wouldn't be too mad at that if that happened.
We got Trey Lance too as a backup. He
Well,
could possibly step in and.
I
be
don't
the
mind
starter.
Dak. I like Dak.
Yeah,
I don't
but
think he's worth
$60
$60 million. No,
you
no
gotta
quarterback.
start letting these players know, like, hey, do you want to be that selfish or do you want to win a ring? I think it's come down to players are starting to get into that entitled factor, and they don't care about teams. They care about me and my money, which there's so many endorsements now. Like, you don't need that money.
No one needs $60 million
Like,
a year, anyways. Like, what are you gonna do with all that money?
Right. Like, I understand why you wouldn't want to get or say no to a $60 million contract, but at the same time, I'd want to win. Like Brady took so many pay cuts in his career.
That's what I was gonna say. If I'm a player like Dak that's not done good and not won anything yet, I'd want to give up a little bit and get somebody better to help me win a championship. Like Austin was saying, I'd like to get some help over there and cut back a little bit on myself. I mean, if I was a quarterback.
Plus, you lose players like Vander Esch, who's had a neck injury, and I don't know.
Tyron Smith.
I don't know what's wrong with y'all and these linebackers, man. Sean Lee was the same.
Yeah.
What was it? Neck injury too?
It was something like that.
I don't care.
Those two could have been crazy together.
Sean Lee would have been a Hall of Famer if he played.
Yeah.
If he was healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like on the outside looking in, but yeah, he would have been for sure a Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
So we'll see what happens with Dak. Like I said, none of us really think he deserves that much of a pay raise, but we'll see what happens. Staying with the NFL, though, and speaking of injuries, the NFL are testing out some new rule changes this coming up here. What is it? The kickoff and then the hip
tackle.
Hip
drop tackle, and then they also moved the trade deadline back to give teams more time after week 9.
So what do y'all think about the new kickoff rule?
Why are they trying to change the game? That's what I don't understand. It's been like this forever now, and I don't like how it is. Like, especially how close they're moving the football to where you kick it off at now. They're moving it forward too, I guess.
It looks kind of stupid the way they have people lined up.
It's like what, the USFL or the XFL?
Yeah, it's gonna be like the XFL.
But at first, I was mad about that until they started saying like they were going to just go away with the kickoff period, and I was like, all right, I could see why they would at least try and do something. And it's crazy because as soon as they made that rule, like maybe an hour later, we signed Cordero Patterson, one of the best kick returners in the game. But like I see saving that, but like a hip drop tackle, obviously it's to help the players. Like there's so many injuries, like Mark Andrews happened last year when Logan Wilson did it, and it's kind of hard for the defensive player to stop it, but at the same time, it is still dangerous. But I think if you're going to keep this rule, you still got to go back to the drawing board, and you got to figure out what actually you can do to, allow tackling to happen. Like I get it, but it's like two-hand touch nowadays, and I understand why defensive players are so mad, and they can't do anything. Like you can't hit late, you just basically got a hand grab. And no horse collar, you can't face mask, you can't leave with your helmet, you can't blow a player up in the middle of the field. It's getting ridiculous.
This is the kind of tackle, though, that got Tony Pollard hurt that one time against the 49ers in the playoffs, broke his ankle. It is a dangerous tackle, but I also don't know really what the defender is supposed to do when he's coming up and trying to tackle a guy from behind. Like Austin was saying, what are you going to do, just try and two-hand touch him? Like, there's not much you can do.
No, they're going to lay him down and tuck him into bed.
Yeah.
Look, I seen this video on this podcast. I watched the Coach JB show, and he was talking about, he's like, the more this stuff starts changing, the more you're going to see more hand and finger injuries. Like, people just trying to grab on jerseys and pull people down. It's going to cause a lot of injuries to your hands still, so it's like, at the same time you're trying to protect the players, you're also hurting them. So it's like you got to go back to the drawing board and just regroup and figure out the rule book.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're trying to change everything now that's been in place for years and years now. I mean, I remember growing up and watching the highlight videos of the big hits and stuff. You don't see that nowadays.
Yeah.
All the big hits on players and stuff.
It's like we can go out here right now and play street football on this turf, and we can make those same tackles and nothing happens. So it's like, I don't understand it.
So we don't really agree on these new NFL rule changes, but yeah, that's what's going to be coming to the NFL next year. So we might as well get used to it.
But maybe we'll see more kickoff returns.
Maybe that would be something.
Maybe that bring a little excitement.
I have a feeling there'll be more end zones, kicking to the end zone and stuff.
They do that a lot, already. But all right, moving on. So this is kind of a sad note, but in Baltimore the other day, there was a bridge. I don't really know what the bridge is called, but I know a cargo ship ran right into it. I'm sure you've seen the video by now, but in the middle of the night, our cargo ship runs right into the middle of that bridge, and it just completely destroys it. All of it goes into the water. I don't know if anyone died from it or not.
Yeah,
they said 20 at minimum died that they know of.
Well, that's how many people were supposedly in the water, but they found an older dude and I guess like his kid or something in their truck, and they were trapped, and they found their bodies yesterday. It was crazy. They said a bunch of construction workers were on it, and it's like, it's crazy. But if you go back and watch the video, it shows the power going out, restart, and the power goes out again, and then they restart it again, but by the time it's too late and they hit the bridge. But now they're trying to come up with ways to like put like barriers or barricades in between the pillars. That way if something like that happens, at least they got some protection to stop it.
Yeah, so the story was the guy on the cargo ship, the power ran out and he wasn't able to steer it. So that was what they were saying happened.
I
Why?
thought the way the bridge went down so easy was kind of crazy. It just like all went at once. It was just barely tapped it and it all went down. It's a sad story though.
Yeah. So hopefully, that's a big popular bridge too.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna affect them forever.
In Cincinnati, there's I
yeah,
remember
few
like bridges being you could lift some of them up and let the boats under. It'd stop you for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like I was told, it hit a bridge, boat did, and I was like, okay, so maybe it's one of those ones that lift and let the ships come through. But then I seen it was an actual bridge. I was like, wow, that's insane. And of course, everybody's got their conspiracy theories that it's rigged.
I've seen
like,
those, yeah.
I don't see how it would be rigged to try and intentionally kill people. Like if that was the case, you wouldn't have anybody on that bridge. But it's.
Well, I feel like if it was
People
like,
keep-
I feel like if it was like people were saying like it's a terrorist attack or something, I feel like they would do it in the middle of the day when there's a lot more people on the bridge in
Yeah.
the middle of the night. If it was a terrorist attack or whatever, or on
Plus, just hitting a
intentional.
bridge.
Yeah.
Like, why would you just decide? Oh, there's a bridge. Like, I get it. It's like there's like major things that goes in and out of that canal or whatever it is. But like, just let people be, man. Stop with all the conspiracy stuff.
So yeah, move on from that. Hopefully everything gets solved and worked out there. Caitlin Clark. I guess everyone knows who that is. The plays girls basketball for Iowa. Best player in women's college basketball by far.
She's got the most points of both men's and women's.
Yeah,
college
men's and
basketball,
women's.
right? Yeah.
She's in the NCAA tournament right now. She's really good. If you haven't watched her, you need to. She's super good. But apparently Ice Cube. Now, Austin, you're gonna have to inform me on this. I don't really know who Ice Cube is.
He's a
If I'm being honest, is he a rapper?
Yeah.
he's a rapper. He's done acting. He's
So
done a
have
little
you
bit of
ever-
everything.
I've heard.
Have
of
you
him.
heard of that movie Straight Outta Compton?
Yeah.
That's Ice Cube was in that group.
Oh.
And the
NWA.
song NW. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a former rapper and movie star, and he offered Caitlin Clark $5 million to join the Big Three, which is a 3-on-3 basketball league that he has. And a bunch of vets and retired players play in it. It's actually pretty interesting to watch if you actually watch it.
So she's
But
she's not.
$5 million.
Was that like a side gig? Like,
No, just straight up, I think.
so she wouldn't even go to the WNBA.
No. That's basically what it was. But they're comparing salaries like for $5 million. That's a lot compared to what most women make in the WNBA.
Yeah, she'd
And-
probably make more.
Yeah. Yeah,
playing for
plus
the Big
endorsements.
Three. But she'd be playing against guys.
Well, she's already
Yeah.
got a bunch of endorsements.
But it's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to go chase records in the WNBA?
That's
or
what I was gonna say.
the money. It's all up to Caitlin and her preference. But,
She'll go to the WNBA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But
but just to hear that he's offered $5 million, just it tells how great she is, and it
She
would be
dropped-
interesting to see her actually playing it. Like maybe like at the end of the season, maybe playing a game or two, just give that.
That's what I was thinking.
aspect.
It's just like a tournament or something. I didn't know it was an actual league
Yeah.
or something.
so that should be interesting to watch, and hopefully maybe we'll get to see that. But
She dropped like 34 the other night against. I can't remember who she's playing, but is
West Virginia, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
That's the game she was yelling. Her dad was yelling back.
Yes.
Like stop. But you're up like what 16 plus, if that.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there complaining to the refs. It's like you're winning. You got like 2 minutes to go. You're winning.
All right. So moving on from Caitlin Clark, we're gonna do a little bit of trivia between Muffin and Austin today. I don't know. We didn't bring anything for the loser, but we may just do it just for bragging rights today. But
I'm 2-0 so far.
so okay. So this is a little MLB trivia. This is Major League Baseball opening day.
I'm already out. I don't-
There's going to be a little MLB trivia. So, first question, and it's just whoever answers first, all right?
All right.
Who was the first ever baseball team?
Reds.
Okay, Austin gets it.
Dang.
And some of these questions are kind of already said earlier in the video.
So
But-
you're just basically okay.
It's a
So,
quiz.
Just a
Who-
recap.
who is the Reds opening day starter today?
Frankie Montas.
Okay, Austin's got 2. All right, can you name?
I bet too. So I have him in my lineup.
Okay, so who is Muffin? This is Guardians' question. Who is the Guardians' opening day starter?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Is it? Who they got? Is it McKenzie?
Is it Manny Ramirez?
I don't even know who their
5,
starters are.
4.
They let go of
Bob
Bieber
Feller?
and all them.
No, they didn't let go.
Bieber's still there. Shane Bieber started. Shane Bieber.
Yeah, he's the opening day starter.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought they let him go.
Is it Bob Feller?
All right,
I would have said
2
him right off bat. If I knew
2-0
he was
Austin. All right.
3
So-
nothing.
Well, you didn't get that one. I gave you a hint on that one.
Oh, this guy! I clearly said. Okay, I see. Sorry, Rick. No, I'm just playing.
All right, so there were 2 teams that played in Korea last week to open the season.
It was the Padres and Dodgers.
Okay. Well, 3-0. Okay. Who is the Reds' AAA team?
Bats, Louisville Bats.
Okay.
I don't know baseball.
I think this is kind of rigged though. Like to go full on Reds.
I have no idea.
Okay, now this one. Who is the Guardians' AAA team?
Oh, who are they? I can't tell you that one.
The Cleveland Cavs. I don't know. I have no idea.
What's it? Columbus. Columbus Lookouts.
No. You get the
Oh.
first one
The
right.
Columbus
Starts with a C.
Cats.
No.
No, Columbus.
Caregivers.
It's not the Cubs, is it?
No.
Columbus. All you is playing the show.
Columbus Clippers.
Clippers. What? I would have never got that.
Los Angeles.
Columbus Clippers. Okay. So, last question. There are 2 opening day starters that are former Reds pitchers. Who are they? That are starting for different teams.
Luis Castillo.
He's one. This
Sonny,
other one's kind of tough.
Sonny Gray.
No. Even though he would have.
Tyler Malley.
Nope.
What do you think about this?
This one's tough. I don't know if you'll get this one. He's not a guy you'd think of. He wasn't on the Reds for very long.
Oh. Dang.
Uh-oh.
A little technical difficulties here. Our camera just fell. Did it stop it? Okay.
Luis Castillo. Is it angled right? Luis Castillo.
Technical
Luis
difficulties.
Castillo.
This guy's pitching for the A's today.
A's. Who did they sign? Let me think about this. Because I seen they signed somebody we used to have. It's not. Stout went to Seattle.
His first
right?
name is Alex. I'll give you that.
Bregman.
Oh, Alex Wood.
Yes, Alex Wood.
That's right. I forgot about him.
All
I
right.
seen it like 2 weeks ago.
Yep, he's their opening day starter today. So
But
there's,
you wouldn't think he'd be that good, but I guess
no,
it's
but it's the A's.
yeah, it's the A's. So
So yeah, there's our trivia today, and Austin now 3-0 in trivia. Someone's gonna have to beat him. But if nothing else, y'all got anything else before we end episode 9 here?
No, well, happy Easter. By the time
Yeah, it is Easter.
this gets out and y'all see it, happy Easter. I hope y'all have a great time with family, friends, whatever you're doing, and just enjoy life, you know. But other than that, I think I'm solid. So
a reminder, no episode next week because Muffin's going to the beach. Hopefully Muffin has safe travels going to the beach and has as good as a time as he can with his girlfriend's family.
Yeah, hope you guys have fun too, boys.
But we'll be back, not next week, but the week after, and we'll see y'all then.
See ya.
Peace.